GM Crypto AI News Analysis here. It is January 27th, and before I go into this video, I just want to say I am not being paid to talk about any of these takers. I'll do my own conviction for where I think the current market direction is going, and none of these things are buy or sell signals. So let's just get on with the video here. So let's talk about the price action first off. So we usually like to talk about the virtuals ecosystem and AI because it is probably one of the biggest narratives in crypto alongside the meme coins. And briefly, just to touch about virtuals. So the price action looks pretty choppy still in this downwards trend, but could it reverse soon? I think so, honestly, because of some current narratives of DeepSeek, but I'll go on that a bit later. But so a lot of coins are still red on the day, and even on Solana AI, okay, ARK is having some sort of a nice recovery from its lows here. AI16Z here looking pretty fucking weak in comparison. So ARK is the main infrastructure to focus on Solana, but overall AI doesn't really look that great. However, on the comparison side, so base meme coins look fucking good. So KeyCat here, it essentially went from the lows at like 30 million to 100 million, pretty much 3x in the next couple of days. And I said this is one of my favorite coins here for some good reason, because it's fucking strong as shit, especially in these market conditions where Ethereum is kind of fucking our asshole here. But KeyCat looking really good, and a lot of other base meme coins. So it's not just KeyCat. So Toshi was the main one that got listed on Coinbase and pretty much did 15x from the lows here. So absolutely amazing, and people are trying to front run further Coinbase listings by buying other coins that could get listed. So that's why people are buying shit like KeyCat, for example, Dog and Me, and probably Mr. Mickles, because these coins could be listed by Coinbase since they have been shilled before by Coinbase. So these coins are the reason why. And the reason why I like KeyCat the most is because I just like the cat. I just like the meme, bro. But the other ones, they're also good picks as well. Low caps, on the other hand, like OCAG, for example, and Lodomilio, Godolo. So these ones haven't really moved that much. They did move a little bit because of the mania yesterday, but there was a Black Swan event that happened and completely fucked all of our coins here for a little bit. But now they're recovering quite nicely because there was actually a bounce from the lows here. So yeah, this is the Bitcoin chart here. So a lot of people are bearish for some reason, even though Bitcoin is not even remotely anywhere far from its all-time highs. But Bitcoin was essentially consolidating at this nice level at 104k, and then essentially dropped all the way down to 98k here, which was because of some DeepSeek news I'm going to talk about a bit later in this video here. But I'll just talk about the cookie.fun dashboard really quick, so about AI. So market cap wise, it is going down, and smart engagement is going down. It's because the whole market has pulled back quite a bit, and this VVV token has actually came out to be quite fucking interesting. So I'm going to pull up the VVV chart. So there was an airdrop that happened for this if you bought the token a while ago, but the VVV token looks really interesting. But they're essentially trying to become a decentralized chat GPT using the DeepSeek platform, because there's some things about DeepSeek where it essentially steals your data. So it was launched by China, but this is looking very strong here. One of the, I'm gonna put this in the watch list, but this token is stealing a lot of mind share. We're gonna talk about it a bit more later in the tweets here, but let's just talk about the tweets. So let's look at the first tweet here by AXPT. Brett's market cap down to 850 million from 2.3 billion all-time high. KeyCat up 61 hours and 24 hours. Base meme rotation accelerating. KeyCat volume at 4.4 million. Price up 214% in 14 days. Market testing new narratives before Brett February LP unlocks. Capital moving from top base meme coins to mid caps. Brett 34 million daily volume versus KeyCat 4.4 million. 10x volume gap narrowing. So I'm just going to briefly talk about this. So this is not immediately AI, but a tweet from yesterday from the whole base mania with KeyCat. And by the way, KeyCat did get like fucked from the highs. It went from like 110 mil to 49 mil in the span of a couple hours because of the Black Swan event. And that volatility event was quite a weird thing for me. And personally, I bought more at the dips at around 50 million. So that was quite nice up from that buy. But as you guys can see here, there's a lot of capital rotation from Brett. So I'm just going to pull up the Brett chart. So Brett used to be, okay, it still is the biggest meme coin on base chain, but Toshi was able to flip it. I don't know why the fucking chart looks like this, but Brett, a lot of people were asking me in the comments, what are your thoughts about Brett? And my thoughts on this is that it's a Cabal coin being shilled by the one guy, I forgot his name on Twitter, but he super loves to talk about Brett. And he's like, this is the token of all time. We got to realize that this token here is extremely supply controlled by the Cabal, and they will dump on your ass slowly. And it's not to say that this won't go up. It's just that there's other better options that aren't Cabal controlled, like KeyCat here. I mean, technically all meme coins have a Cabal behind them to push them forward, but things like Brett have a centralized supply where they will dump on your ass later. I mean, it's not as if all meme coins are going to dump, or aren't going to dump to zero. They eventually all will, or at least 99% of them. But Brett, for example, there's a lot of selling pressure because of what XBT said, where there is a February LP unlocks from Brett, and that means they're going to sell on your ass like well because they're up a lot from the beginning, right? So there's just a lot of selling pressure on it. I don't really recommend Brett. If you want to look at base meme coins, look at things like KeyCat, Dog and Me, Doshi. Those type of things are going to do much greater returns because they don't have that supply control like Brett does. So let's look at the next tweet here. Breaking: DeepSeek AI drops another open source AI model, which includes image generation, Janus Pro 7B. So there's some interesting things here where they're dropping some image models about this whole cabal sort of deal. But I'm just going to briefly talk about DeepSeek here, where essentially it's a model released by some Chinese company, and they claim to create a model, an LLM, that's better than ChatGPT, but costs 1,000 times less, which is fucking insane. So briefly, I'm just going to cover what the fuck happened as a result of this. So this actually came out about a month ago. This news was public, but only recently has it gained popularity in the last few days because people are like hyping it up on social media. Oh my gosh, this is the end of America, because America is the capital of AI. We're supposed to be the best place for AI development, which is why we have things like Nvidia, the stock. And I'll talk about Nvidia, where you guys probably saw Nvidia's stock value went down by 20%. And it's not because of some crazy ass event where like, oh my gosh, Nvidia's like, fuck now. No, it's because this whole event causes a lot of uncertainty, where now we have a Chinese product that seems to be way more efficient than Nvidia's product. So why would you invest in an Nvidia product when you couldn't invest in Chinese stocks? So people started investing into Chinese things here. And as all of that, a lot of uncertainty came into this space, where you got to realize that a lot of retail investors don't actually understand the technology behind these things. And I was talking about this to myself a little bit earlier. Okay, is it actually that more useful, this DeepSeek model, in comparison to ChatGPT? So I have to go use it for myself. But in theory, LLMs, so ChatGPT is already a pretty good product. And then for something like DeepSeek to come out, which yes, the efficiency that is 1,000 times more efficient is fucking insane. But as a product that retail can use, so retail, they don't really give a fuck about that efficiency that much. The people that are essentially going to be using the APIs of like ChatGPT or OpenSeek or DeepSeek, these guys are going to be more concerned with the efficiency. But retail, they just care about if ChatGPT can do my homework for me, right? So when they do that and then they use DeepSeek in comparison, okay, is it actually going to be that much more of a product? Because ChatGPT is already pretty fucking good. And if DeepSeek's only 10% greater, then okay, so what, right? So it shouldn't be that big of a deal from a technological standpoint, from my perspective. For big companies that use the APIs of OpenAI and then also DeepSeek, okay, it's a bit more of a big problem. If the efficiency is actually as what they say, then okay, that's a pretty big deal. But a lot of retail investors who are invested in these stocks, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm shitting my pants. This is so fucking over for Nvidia. And they started selling their stock. But you got to realize that this is just uncertainty. It doesn't actually reflect on a true value for Nvidia here, is what I'm trying to say. Maybe it does reduce the value a little bit, but it was clearly oversold. And as a result of that, there was a lot of direct correlation from the tech stocks going down, like Google, Apple, Nvidia. These coins went down a lot. I said coins, but stocks, they went down a lot, right? And Bitcoin has some sort of a correlation to it. Bitcoin as itself is completely unrelated to AI here. But the fact is that in the market overall, there's a correlation between tech and then Bitcoin, that's crypto, even though at a technical standpoint, they have no relations whatsoever. So as all of that, people sold off Bitcoin, and now it has risen quite nicely from the bottom. A lot of people were capitulating down here. They were like, oh my gosh, it's over. And that's when KeyCat, for example, went from 100 million to 50 million. That was the event there because of Bitcoin crashing like this. And a lot of people, they capitulated at the bottom. Personally, I saw this event and I was like, yeah, this is just a black swan event. It happens. But you got to realize that black swan events, they recover quite quickly, assuming event like this, where it's not really that big of a deal, especially with this DeepSeek whole spiel here, where yeah, it might be bad for AI, but actually, it's actually a really good thing for AI, because now it shows that a lot of people, competitors, are coming in to step in with AI, and now they're trying to stave away this centralization from OpenAI, because OpenAI is probably one of the kingpins of AI with their LLMs or ChatGPT, right? But now that other companies are stepping in and offering alternative solutions, that's actually really good for AI, because now AI products have more options for them to use APIs to develop their own products. And as well as that, there's more decentralization, because that's one of the big things about crypto, right? We want decentralization. That's the main idea of it. And now that other products are coming in that could offer better solutions in the market, then AI as a whole, the AI agent space in crypto, can benefit from this and deliver better products. And some products have actually delivered on this and I'm just going to show you guys a bit after it. But let's just go on with this next tweet here. DeepSeek just proved the worthless GPT wrapper startups are actually the ones with real moats. A week ago, nothing was more low status than being a GPT wrapper startup, but I think we're leaning that that's dead wrong. Turns out they were just early to the only game that matters. While DeepSeek, Meta, Anthropic, and Microsoft battle over benchmark scores, these wrapper companies have been quietly building the only moat that matters, interface loyalty. Because of how big owning the LLM is for national defense and the economy, the next breakthrough model is always 2 weeks away. DeepSeek launches today, someone else drops a better one tomorrow. But getting millions of people to make your product part of their daily workflow, that's a real barrier to entry. ChatGPT didn't win because it had the best model, it won because it was dead simple to use. And I think it has staying power because of that. This is why these AI startups are dismissed, are actually positioned to win. They're not competing on model performance, they're competing on being the default way humans interact with AI. Frontier models are becoming commodities, user habits aren't. While everyone is obsessed with for the next architecture breakthrough, the real game is being played at the interface layer. The moat is in the model, it's in being the tool people reach for without thinking. Technological advantage is temporary, interface locking is forever. Keep shipping those wrappers, my friends. So yeah, a lot of people like to shit on the ChatGPT wrappers, which yeah, some of these projects are overqualified LLMs. But you got to realize that the products, like retail doesn't give a fuck about that much of a difference from where it comes from, right? Because you also have to realize, like in a business standpoint, perhaps if you're a business creator and then now you're trying to outsource your work into a different company or somewhat, the customer that you're working for, they just want the product. They just want a good product. They don't give a fuck how the fuck you do it. They just want a good product on their end because they're paying you money for that result, right? Retail, when they use like ChatGPT, for example, they don't really give the fuck about all of these LM wrappers. Like some AI products, there are just wrappers of ChatGPTs. They're just a prompt engineered ChatGPT for a specific use case, right? That's probably what a lot of analysis tools are out there. Like perhaps some AI agents that try to give you trading advice and all these things. At the end of the day, they're just prompt engineered ChatGPT, right? But the fact is that retail, they don't give that much of a fuck about it. Maybe some people do, but most of them are going to see that and be like, oh, well, this is actually a bit more usable because now it's like 1% better, but that actually makes it 100% better for me because it's actually usable. I don't have to prompt engineer it. I just ask this one AI agent to do shit for me and then boom. So retail, they super are interested in the usability and the utility, not so much about the actual technology behind it. They just want to see how it can affect their life and can it make themselves better. That's why things like ChatGPT and DeepSeek are so fucking big in retail's lives, right? So let's look at this next tweet. Breaking. This is not a meme coin. This is Nvidia, the most valuable company in the world before today. It is down 17% and lost 560 billion in market cap today, so far the largest market history. So yeah, Nvidia down a lot on the day, which is fucking insane here, and it's because of this Black Swan event. And by the way, it's not because Nvidia is actually that worth of a stock and that it actually deserves that price. No, it's because there's a lot of fear, and then it results in an oversold price. So instances like these are good times to buy the dips when everyone is fucking shitting their pants because China is creating a crazy model here. No, obviously, this is actually pretty good on the grand scheme of things because, again, as I gave my argument before, there's more competition in the AI space. So there's more leeway into the future for AI projects to have better products because they could use infrastructure like DeepSeek to have a better product delivered to retail users. So let's look at the next tweet. Crypto Twitter right now, Pussy Index, now extreme pussies. Yeah. So earlier today in the morning, so that was when Bitcoin was like fucking everyone's ass here. But essentially, people are shitting their pants. And guys, you got to realize that it's just a small blip in the road. It fucking happens. I was down the shit too, but I was like, okay, I'm going to stay calm. Let me see what I can do. And I rearranged my portfolio a bit so that I can get a little bit more gains because a lot of shit was down. But you got to go into the ones that are going to go up first, right? Because that's what's going to make you money. So let's look at the next tweet. DeepSeek seems to have created a panic moment with the biggest companies, and it should alarm investors. Cost 2,048 Nvidia H800 GPUs. 40 to 50 million, training 5 million. If all it takes to beat OpenAI is a maximum of 55 million, the industry is becoming commoditized way faster than previously expected. US-based AI companies alone will have to generate about 600 billion a year in revenue to pay for their AI hardware, according to Sequoia. The capex and R&D will likely be accepted to remain competitive, given the risks of it not being involved in the space. However, it is getting harder by the day in the vision of profitable venture into the field. Great moment for the consumer, but very bad news for the companies competing in the field. So yeah. You got to realize that OpenAI, they are shitting their pants right now because now they're realizing that the cost to create an LLM that is similar in quality to probably O3, O1, all of these things, it's becoming less and less because it actually probably does cost a lot of money to train an actual functional and usable model here. But the fact is that some companies like what DeepSeek are doing, they're figuring out ways to make it cheaper. So it's becoming commoditized, which is essentially like, example, water. Water is a very commoditized product. It costs not that much to make it, but everyone needs it, right? It has a very large demand, but but there could be a lot more supply because it's actually very easy to make it. So when OpenAI, they're gonna be outcompeted by these other things, and then now AI becomes more decentralized, and now it's not censored because ChatGPT is censored. There's shit that ChatGPT doesn't let you talk about. So ChatGPT, we know, is super fucking woke. It's controlled by people probably left leaning in the media, right? But you got to realize that if you try to talk about things that challenge their viewpoints, ChatGPT can be like, whoa, 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 you can't do this, and oh, you shouldn't do this, and give you some attacks on virtue on your ideologies here. And it's not really the best thing. ChatGPT is censored. It sucks, but whatever, man. But the fact is that AI is controlled by this one entity of OpenAI. But then it's not as if DeepSeek is any better, because DeepSeek is controlled by the Chinese, and the Chinese, if you try to talk about things like Tiananmen Square to the bot. So I was looking at this tweet where essentially, I'm going to show you guys it, but essentially this guy was creating an interesting prompt. Okay, what famous picture has a man of grocery bags in front of tanks? He's talking about Tiananmen Square, and he's like talking about, he was like, oh, let's talk about something else. So you got to realize there's even censorship in DeepSeek, right? And we're trying to strive towards a more decentralized product that everyone can use and that there's no censorship, because that's better for everyone at the end of the day. But of course, people that the companies behind these products, they have an agenda they're trying to push. So they're trying to create some sort of restrictions on their models, especially with LLMs, because ChatGPT is such a large product that a lot of people use. So of course, it's in their best interest, the people behind it, to push an agenda, a narrative, so that they can further their own viewpoints here. Whatever the fuck it is, I'm not trying to super push into deep it, but that's what they're essentially trying to do here. But you got to realize it's a pretty big thing. So let's look at this next tweet. Just for your information, DeepSeek AI collects your IP, keystroke patterns, device info, etc., and stores it in China, where all that data is vulnerable to arbitrary requisition from the Chinese state from their own privacy policy. So yeah, look, the personal information we collect from you may be stored on a server located outside the country where you live. We store the information we collect in secure servers located in People's Republic of China. So yeah, you got to realize that DeepSeek is also taking your information and using it within the Chinese data. So you got to be looking out for that. But there are some solutions out there, which is actually this new thing, VVV. So I was talking about it earlier, this VVV thing. So let me just pull up the chart of VVV. It's extremely fucking strong. Some people got airdropped this. I personally didn't get airdropped it, but if you held some virtual tokens from January 31st, and you would, or December 31st, and you would get an airdrop of this. But I heard it was a pretty good one. But so far the chart looks really freaking strong. But essentially what these guys are trying to do, they're trying to create an uncensored version of DeepSeek. So they use the API, and then they have an actual platform for it. So I'm just going to pull up the website here. So you could just talk about like, explain Tiananmen Square. Oh, I'm so cooked, dude. Yeah, so now he's talking about it. Yeah, so this guy is not actually that censored in comparison to DeepSeek. He's actually talking about it in the controversy. If you try to ask it to DeepSeek, they'll be like, yo, let's talk about something else. So the Ask Venus platform just launched a VVV token and went to 620 million FTV and 92 million market cap instantly. If you hold virtual, the XBT DGen and other tokens, you might have an airdrop you claim. So if you guys were in this AI space before this whole spiel, like around December, then you should check your airdrop, but check the right link, right? So you want to look for the Venus.ai, go to their Twitter page and check it for yourself. But it's a pretty nice airdrop from what I heard for people that participated in it. But let's look at the last tweet here. The fact that so many this week thought China were using the SWI means we still have a lot to learn. The market doesn't really know how to price it in at all. So the market is completely mispricing DeepSeek's impact on Nvidia. It's only increased demand for the consumer hardware like digits as more people run models locally. So yeah, you got to realize that now there's an inspiration of consumer products. So as I said before, there's a commoditization of LLMs. So people could actually start training their own LLMs within their own hardware. So they'll probably buy Nvidia's products like GPUs, because you need GPUs to run these LLMs. So Nvidia, actually, their price should go up as a result of this. What actually went down is because consumers don't fucking know what the hell this is about. They're like, oh my gosh, are we so doomed? China's going to take over? Because like even COVID, for example, they're like, oh my gosh, the Chinese, like Chinese is like, it has a taboo around it nowadays because of what's going on global politically. So people shit their pants when they see that a Chinese product is better than an American product. But you realize, think about it, this is actually good for Nvidia. Nvidia's stock price will go up because of this news here, because there's a lot more demand for their GPUs, because now people are inspired to use their GPUs to create their own LLMs locally, since they now realize that it doesn't cost as much as they might think. So that's actually a pretty good thing. Decentralized LLMs is very good for uncensorship reasons, but it's probably a very libertarian sort of ideology. I'm not trying to get super political in this video, by the way, but that is what I'm trying to say here, that quite interesting things are going on right now. But if I were to give you a direction for where this market is going, because you got to realize a lot of shit is going on. Like in the span of a day or two, there is base chain going fucking crazy with Satoshi listing, and then now it gets dumped to hell because of the DeepSeek listing, but now it's bouncing again. Like, what the fuck is going to happen on? So I think in the midterm in February, we're still going to be bullish because liquidity has still not been injected into the economy via the Trump administration. That should happen around middle of February, March. So that should be the time when all season comes, where Bitcoin dominance goes down and people are more interested in things like Ethereum. And Ethereum's going up, and base coins will go up even fucking higher, by the way. And then base AI, so Solana AI, their narrative for them actually gets a lot better because there's a lot more mind share because of DeepSeek here. So you want to start positioning yourself in some good ass AI products that actually could use DeepSeek. So I was looking at some tweets here. So he was basically talking about which products are essentially using DeepSeek here. So, okay, I fucking forgot where the tweet is here. Okay, here it is. So some AI platforms that have already enabled DeepSeek access. As you can see, DAO, as Venus, Arc.fun, Virtuals. Remind me why DeepSeek is bad for crypto AI again? There's literally proven Web3 superpower, open source for the win. So yeah, you got to realize it's a very good thing for crypto AI, this DeepSeek thing. So this actually strengthens the narrative. And what will liquidity rotate to next? Honestly, I'm not really super sure. I have a feeling that Virtuals AI and base meme coins will go at the same time, especially with this narrative here, because people are obviously retail. They're interested in buying meme coins on Coinbase, as we've seen from Toshi, right? So that's very good for base meme coins. But then we also have this narrative with AI going on with DeepSeek, which strengthens the narrative. And in terms of what's happened immediately, actually AI hasn't really moved that much, right? So things like Anklet's a very good project, but it's still dumping to hell. But A is still at this consolidation level. Virtuals hasn't really moved that much in price. However, comparison, base meme coins are just going to the moon right now, or at least the good ones like KitKat, Dagami, Toshi. These ones are going very, very hard. So where's liquidity going in the immediate space? As I would say, I would think KitKat or base meme coins for now because of retail's interest in Coinbase coins. But it's weird because retail, they're not that interested just yet because Bitcoin is still at this price. It's not even at all-time highs yet, right? But currently, from what I'm seeing in the markets, people are more interested in base meme coins to front-run listings. So at least in the short term, that could be where liquidity goes to. But AI, I think, like on a theoretical level, this should be very bullish for AI. Oh my gosh, bro. Look at this dip, bro. There's so many good ass entries on these AI tokens. I gotta buy some, man. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say in this video. AI is going to be a very big narrative. Base is going to be a pretty big narrative. You don't have to pick and choose. You can play both. So that's personally what I would suggest you guys to do. It's hard to predict where it's going next. But at least right now, base meme coins are having a very good time. And as a comparison, Solana meme coins are not doing the best, like PopCap. Shitting the bed still, 372. Really, really cooked. But they should run in the coming weeks. But it seems that they might do it last based off what we're seeing here, because it doesn't seem like people are super interested in meme coins right now in Solana. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say in this video, and I'll see you guys.